Hello guys, and Akwaba to a new episode. Today I'm going to break down a video that I did last year, and the reason I'm doing this breakdown is because anytime I show this video to people, they ask me one particular question: what camera did you use in shooting this video? And anytime I tell them that I use a T6i with a 50mm lens, you're like, hey bro, that's a big lie. So I'm going to explain to you how I was able to achieve this awesome image with such a low budget camera.
Hi, my name is JohnB.Peasah. Branding, I get excited when it's branding time, and join me as I give you insights to my brand, how it all began.
So this was a video that I did for a brand called the Brand Conference, and this was a promo video I did for them for their annual program. The camera I used for this video was the Canon T6i. The lens that I used was the Canon 50mm lens. The microphone I used was the Boya BY-M1, and the light I used was an ordinary 18 inches ring light, which I don't even know the name of that particular light. So one of the things that I always do when I get on set is first of all analyze the environment that I find myself in, look at the existing light that is already in the space wherever the light is coming from. I put that into consideration. I look at what is going to be in my shot and what is not going to be in my shot, what is already in the space where I would like to place the person that I'm going to shoot or the people that I'm going to shoot, where I would like to direct my camera towards. These are some of the things that I always consider when I get to a place the first time. So the next thing that I do is pull out my phone and open my camera app. Then I start pointing the camera towards possible places that I would love to shoot and have a preview of how my frame is going to look like in the camera. So I normally do this way before I even try and set up my camera or anything. So I just look at this portion, look at this portion, look at this portion. Then I settle on one particular place that I would love to use. So when we look at this particular video, one of the first things I considered when I got to the space was the background. There was one particular thing that I was going in for, and I was going in for a more shallow depth of field. And if you don't know what a shallow depth of field is, it is basically the blurry background. So I wanted to really achieve that look. So this shot, when I got to the set, I first of all checked the environment, and it was a daytime, so I analyzed the lights that were coming in, whether the windows were shut or the blinds were shut. I considered all those things. One thing I also considered was the positioning of the couch. And one thing that I always do when I go to a space that is someone, I first of all ask the person, is it okay for me to move things around? You really need to ask these questions before you go and start moving things around. So you find out from the person if the person is okay. If the person isn't okay with you moving things around, then now you have to think creatively and see how best you can get the best out of what you have. So I first of all found out from Ajitanan if it was okay for me to move things around, and he was okay with that. And the second thing that I also asked was, is it okay if we put the light on? So I was trying to get all the things that I could have access to and realize what I wouldn't have access to. Then I can plan around that. When I got into the space, one of the things that I saw that caught my attention was the fake plant that you could see right behind Ajit Anand. And it was one of the things that the moment I saw it, I knew that this was definitely going to be my shot. Because there's something about fake plants that when they are out of focus or when you put them behind a subject, the way they blur at the background, it gives it a very nice look. So it was one of the things I was going to incorporate into my video somehow. So what I realized was that there was a dining room right behind Ajite Anand. Because I wanted more depth, I knew I had to bring in this particular part. So it was one of the things that I considered when I entered into the space. As I said earlier on, because we just took a ring light in there, and the only source of additional light that we had on us that day, I asked Ajitianan if he could put the lights in the space on, and he did. So when I set up my camera, checked my camera, and I realized that the shot was already looking good. I just had to position the ring light on my far right just to give this particular side of his face a little bit of a pop. And the reason why I positioned Ajit Anand right here was that there was another window here, and I knew that was going to light his face, so I positioned him here. And because there was no light from this direction, that was why I placed my ring light over there. These were some of the things that I considered when I got into the space. So the rest of the things that we had to do was to push the couch a little bit forward, so the depth behind the subject was far enough to create that awesome shallow depth of field that you could find here. So I had to also let him come forward a little bit, and the other things that I did was just a minor tweak and adjustment in the camera settings, making sure I'm following the right shutter speed that I'm supposed to use, because I was shooting at 24 frames per second. I had to make sure my shutter speed was 50, and I also had to make sure my ISO2 was on point. So these are the minor things that I considered on the day, and that was how come I was able to produce this awesome video. So guys, that will be all for today. If you enjoyed today's video and you've not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and put on your notification bell so you get notified anytime I post new videos. And thank you for watching. See you soon.